Well, hello there. I hope this week has been kind to you. Um, I'm kind of a bit speechless. I've tried to record this slide about 3 times now, and I keep stumbling. Hear me stumbling over my words. It's been a big day for me. But either way, if this is your first visit to the channel, thank you very much for joining us. If you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for staying part of my journey. If you're a new subscriber, thank you again. Just want to acknowledge that you're here and part of the journey. I would like to actually see this become a community at some point in time. I just wanted to remind people before we get into the update of what's been happening this week on this side of the fence is that, oh my goodness me, yeah, look, I am spiritual and I am into energy work, but there is a little bit of a problem here for the channel because it's a new channel in that I am also a professional. I am a qualified social worker and I've done a Masters of Counselling, and I recognise that I have certain professional responsibilities to put this kind of content up. I mean, it's very helpful, incidentally. If people are interested in looking at it, they'll find a lot of strategy there. But I'm looking forward to actually finishing off this aspect of the journey for the channel sooner rather than later, so that I can then go into the process of sharing energy strategy and techniques that I've picked up along the way. And that might be sharing with you information that I've learned about crystals as well, because I love crystals. But either way, I just want to reassure you, we will get onto the more spiritual stuff in the not too distant future. Just hang in there, buttercups, because it is a journey. And I must admit, when it comes to putting up the content on things like emotional balance and unhelpful thinking and this kind of stuff, the mainstream evidence-based clinical stuff that we would refer to, my original motivations were just to give something to people to help them go through their daily living, because obviously things like distress and mental illness and diagnoses appear to be on the increase. And I personally find it a little bit disturbing, because it's like people are suffering distressing situations, they're struggling to cope day by day. Energy is one thing, but sometimes people need practical assistance as well. And because of my training and my understanding of what's happening in the therapeutic fields, shall we say, I'm aware that they charge exorbitant rates, absolutely exorbitant rates, and the wait lists are just so long for people to get in and see them, and it's just not helpful to those people that are suffering. In fact, I suppose this is part of my own personal empathy and value system. To me, it seems that from a social construct perspective, that we're just making people suffer needlessly, unnecessarily. And so for me, if I can put this content up, then people have it as a fallback tools. It's good, solid information. What I do struggle with a little bit, though, is that the content that I'm putting up, especially as I go into, because I am working on content for what's called unhelpful thinking styles, is that as I go through it, I recognise, look, there's only so far an individual or a person can go themselves when they start these explorations of putting into practice these techniques and that. And then it reaches a point where you've actually got to engage with somebody or find a group where you can actually test out your new skills and that kind of thing as part of building confidence. And but look, at least the content that I put up will hopefully get you through until you can find those other resources that you need. So that's part of the aim here as well. So what we've got coming up really soon, and I'm already working on the content, is looking specifically at the numbers on the birth chart, the energy and the influences, which these are what we call the keys. They unlock the secrets of the divine plan when we actually understand and know the numbers and the influences. So I'm definitely starting that, as in I've started it. You'll be able to see it soon. The other thing that we're doing, we're revamping, because it's coming up to Valentine's Day. We've decided to revamp the types of love and language of love. So they're being uploaded as well, because To be honest, when I looked back and saw them, I thought, goodness me, we have come a long way in our graphic design since I first started loading content on the channel, and they just look pretty inferior quality, so we decided to give them a bit of a fix. Now, the other thing that we've got coming up is in regard to the Friday content. While we're still looking at topics such as emotional intelligence and that kind of thing, we're being less focused now on the emotional aspects, and we're going to look into the thinking styles, the thoughts, the ideas, the beliefs, because emotion and thought is hand in hand anyway. So that's going to be the focus. And I do recommend it, by the way, because I think this was the beauty for me about doing the studies of Masters of Counselling, because even after I'd done my Bachelor of Social Work, I thought I had a fairly good understanding of thinking patterns and processes and, cycles. And we all hear about the power of positive thinking, but nobody really tells you what you need or could be doing. And that is the content that I actually learned when doing the Masters of Counselling. So what I'm doing is bringing to the table for you guys access to free information that you would normally get from attending a therapist. Perhaps I'm translating it obviously into easy to use language and easy to understand and actually implement into your own life. Now, part of this is because obviously if people do or are seeking, because a lot of people are under stress at the moment, that they seek to have help with, say, counsellors or therapists or whatever, but there's such a demand and they can't access them. So to some extent, what I'm giving you is the tools to do some self-work to help accommodate your need until you can actually get into professional services. These are professional services that I'm giving you, or professional content. But the fact of the matter is that there's only so much we can do on our own through the self-development, and sometimes to really break through long-term patterns, it actually helps to have a qualified and competent person to work through the stuff with. So that's coming soon too. You'll be seeing it very, very soon. A bit of an update on the technology side of things for us all. The service providers have been working to fix the lines, but of course they've encountered some problems. Frankly, I am not surprised. I expected that, because I don't know if I told you, I've got a really massive tree out the front, and it's actually a nesting tree for a lot of the native I was going to say flora, definitely not the flora, native birds, but it's also a food source for the black cockatoo. So I'm actually quite blessed, because the cockies come in on a regular basis and we get an assortment of them, and a lot of them are endangered. So we've got the red tail and goodness me, I can't remember all their names, but anyway, we get a lot of cockies come in, and this is posing a wee bit of a problem, I think, for the service provider to put the lines in. So anyway, they've said it'll take a little bit longer before it's sorted out. Bit of a pain, because you've got no idea how slow that my downloads are working at the moment, and it actually seems a bit ridiculous that I've got to be asking somebody in Italy to do the downloading and uploading onto the channel for me, but sometimes it works out quicker and easier that way. So either way, it's happening. It's happening slowly. All things at divine time, in the divine way, I believe. This week you will have noticed on Friday that I loaded a video on emotional mastery, and bottom line is this is actually an introduction, if you like, to what's called dialectical behavioural therapy. Now, if people aren't aware of this, this is considered to be a gold star treatment for people with emotional dysregulation, for want of a better word. And what we're talking about here is, it is supposed to be a gold star treatment for people with borderline personality disorder. Now, if you understand anything about this condition, which is quite tragic, the people are highly sensitized, and generally speaking, they've had some kind of trauma, at least one, during their childhood. Although I need to be clear here that the jury is out. What they're aware of is that round about adolescence, people start struggling. If they got this condition, they start to struggle with managing their emotions. And anyway, the reason I'm pointing this out is because this is my professional opinion based on my studies in both social work and doing counselling. I actually attended training on how to deliver DBT to individuals and groups. And in my research, just to make myself current for the purposes of delivering online, I went and checked out what was available, and I thought, you know what, I need to share with people that there is still a favoured or preferred site that I would recommend to people, and it's actually the one that is selfawareness.com that I've noted it on the actual video as well. And this is because when I was conducting my research, I was looking for reference materials when I was doing my studies, and I recognised that there is nothing as comprehensive as this particular site when it comes to providing tools, if you like, and real grounded, solid strategy, skills for people to maintain emotional health. Now, the bottom line is this website was constructed and designed by people with borderline personality disorder. Sorry, I hope you didn't hear me cough then. Anyway, when I've done my current research, I was a little bit disappointed. It was just glancing around. I thought, look, there is far more information online now available for people if they're looking for these skills. But what I find is that most of the professional websites, and we're talking about clinical ones here, while that content is still very good, it is clinical. And the problem for people that have got emotional dysregulation is they actually feel quite objectified or subjectified. It's not personal, it's quite distant and cool, if you like, or cold. Many of them find it to be cold. So when it comes to the emotional stuff, they really have covered this very, very well, and I just cannot recommend this website enough. And the other point that I would make with this is when I was doing my research for university, as I say, and I found this particular website, I recognised that although I don't have borderline personality disorder or emotional dysregulation, there was still strategy and skills that I could gain from that website for me. And this is one of the reasons why I'm promoting it, because I believe that everything on that website we will all gain benefit from, regardless of our personal history or situation or whatever. When we go through these turbulent times, this is a really good way to develop our own personal awareness of how we function during crises and how we can manage and how we can make healthy choices. So I just wanted to articulate that here. And I think from here, we're going to set aside the emotional management content. We'll go on to new things. So as always, a reminder that we've got the chakra tools there for self-care, and just honestly a reminder they're very, very good. The feedback is very positive. I designed it years ago, and that it helps shift through these really embedded blocks. If you're at that point in your life where you throw your hands in the air and you go, I just don't know what to do, this is the time to start using this chakra tool, okay? I thoroughly recommend it. So as always, a reminder that we've got the chakra tools there for... I'm also working intensively on the numerology content, and to be honest, I actually didn't realise that it was going to be so complex to deliver just the basic information about what it means to have a specific number on the chart. So if we're talking about the charts or the birth charts, okay, there's significance if, for example, you've got number 1 on the chart. So if you've got multiple of a specific number, or if you've got absence of numbers, all of these things are relevant and part of unlocking the secrets of the numerology chart. So anyway, where I'm going with this is it's a lot more complex than I initially thought. So I'm working like a Trojan on these things, trying to get them up for you. The day numbers will be going up tomorrow. Sorry, I beg your pardon. The day numbers went up on Monday. And so the content that will be going up tomorrow is actually the content on name numerology. So that could be a little bit of fun for you if you're into looking at your name numerology. That will be up tomorrow for you to take a look at. Universal law, oh my goodness me. I don't think people might realise that based on my own numerology and personality type. This is like really heady brain stuff, thinking stuff. Now, it's not that I don't have a brain and I can't use it. I'm just at the point in my life, actually, I would say I probably always have been more interested in the feelings aspects and the emotional aspects. So I have to push myself actually to get this content up for you. And I can honestly say that 105 laws altogether, I'm like, why did I start this? And then I remind myself, because I understood that some people were interested in the content. And so I thought, okay, we'll look at it, we'll review it. But yeah, this is another one that's bigger than Ben-Hur. Anyway, where I'm going with this is I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I am so excited. And I've got plans for what to put up in the mornings instead of the universal law, just to keep you, something there for you. But anyway, we're almost there. It'll be finished in March. So one day at a time. The angel content is coming along. It's coming together bit by bit. We've also created some shorts, just some little reels to put up there and promote the channel as well, and also to give people information that we've got the resources on this channel as I pause and think about it. So they're new developments. When we load shorts, you don't get notified. They just go up in, I think, the shorts playlist that we've got, but you can find them online if you want to take a look. So I finally managed to add the audio to the video for Archangel Jophiel, so that's now been loaded into the angel playlist. Now, he, of course, is an archangel. He's manifesting, overseas manifestation. He's associated with building your knowledge, understanding insight, illumination, because when we become confused, he can shine the light into what's confusing for us. He also oversees the yellow chakra, which is kind of a power center, for want of a different description. At some point, I will do videos on the chakras and their function. More specifically, you do get information on the chakras through the angel videos, but what I have learned in my experiences is that everybody speaks a different language, honestly, whether they're speaking English or not. And you can pick up a book or any learning tool. I certainly found you can pick up a learning tool and it means nothing to you. You might pick up the same book, say 10 years down the track, and it's got meaning and you understand it. Well, the same thing goes with, at each particular point in time of our lives, different people hear different things. And so the content that I put up on the angel slides is probably only going to really be receptive to those people that have got faith already, that understand the spiritual realm. Whereas, well, actually, that's not a good description. Okay, not everybody is comfortable with the concepts of angels and a creator and that kind of stuff. And if we talk about the chakras, some people can be open to conversations about chakras and energy, but not open to concepts of angels. So I will create new videos later on that speak directly to the chakras without talking about angels, because it's different strokes for different folks. But either way, even if you're not into angels, I would recommend that you take a look at the video, because with each video that I put up for healing, I offer some tips and suggestions for inner reflection and identifying where you could work to balance out your chakras at the very least, or send metaphysical healing energy through to these areas. Of course, they're just ideas. As always, I'm playing with AI art, and these are a couple of my newest images. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear you give some comments about what you would like to see, any types of colours. Interestingly, I've actually entered one into a competition, actually, a challenge. I'll let you know how it pans out. Not one of these images, I've got another one. I'll include the image on next week's and just let you know how it proceeded in that challenge competition, because that, I think, will be interesting. Sorry, I'm pausing on that because it was actually quite interesting for me. They run challenges regularly and I never participate in them, but somebody actually went to my display where I've got my collections up of artwork, and somebody commented and asked me to actually enter the challenge. I think they wanted me to put in a specific artwork, but I decided I want to use something else. So anyway, yeah, no, it's kind of complimentary to be invited to participate in an artwork challenge. So I'll let you know what is the outcome. So, anyway, my friends, we've come to that time of the day again. I'm going to bid you farewell. I'm going to say thank you once again for being part of my journey. Um, I'll leave you. I will crack on with the other content that I'm putting up for you. And I will just wish you have a blessed day, have a blessed week. Take care of yourselves. And I will speak to you on the next video. Bye bye for now. See you soon.